So we're going to add an image to a border to this image. All right, so this family image, we're going to add a border to it. And we're going to use a border image to do that. Now the border image is the tb_border.png. So here's the image that we're working with, right? And we know that we can identify that that's what we're going to work with. And then we can identify the slice. And the slice tells us how big we're going to separate the parts into the 9 parts. Remember, there's 9 parts of an image. There's 4 corners, then there's 4 sides, and then there's the middle. And the middle will be transparent by default, which means it will not show at all. So let's go ahead and add this. Now we're going to add this in the style sheet, specifically the style sheet visual1.css, and we're going to do this in the figure. So go all the way up to the figure box, and that's where we're going to add it. So if we go up there, now remember that we need to set the border style. So we can set border style, so it's not none. And we're going to set it to solid. And we're also going to set the border width. And when we set the border width, this actually determines how big that is going to be. So we can pick the image and then it will make it however wide we say it is what it'll show. So we want it to be solid and 25 pixels. Now, if we do this, notice what we get. The default color is black. We didn't set the color, so now you see the default color for a border is black. But there's a border that's 25 pixels wide and it's solid, okay? Well, we don't want to do that. We want to do it with an image, and so we're going to add a border image. And there's the border image. And the first thing we want to set is the URL. And we're in the CSS file, so we need to go up 1 to get to the images folder. And then we want the tb_border PNG. So we've got that. Now the next thing we have to do is specify the slice. So how wide do we want to clip that image? And that really identifies, if we go to that image again, it's how wide are we going to cut it, right? So if we just do a few pixels, how many pixels do we get to make a slice there? Do we make a big slice? Do we make another slice? And when you slice it, it slices it across the top and down both sides and across the bottom. Let me show you what I mean by slices. So it just really, it slices it on each corner, and that's how we get the 9 pieces. And however wide you call the slice, right? Whatever value you put for the slice, it can either be a number, which will be a number of pixels, or it can have a % by it. Then that determines where these lines will be and how much you get. And that's what it means by slicing the image and by specifying that size of how deep it will slice it. So let's go back to the visual1.css and specify that we want it to slice it at 50 pixels. So we just put a 50, no PX, and then we get to determine how we want it to repeat. So we're just going to put repeat, and let's go see what that looks like. And there, notice that it made it the same width as that black was, that black border, but now it's the image there instead of it. And we said repeat, and so you can kind of see that edge repeating there, and it's not complete, right? It does it about 2.5 times. And coming down here, you see it a little bit, then you see a little bit, another one here. It's just, and if you go all the way down, about 2.5 times as well. So that's what the repeat does, and we can make changes to all these properties and see what happens if we make this stretch. That way it'll only use one side section and stretch it out. And so that's what it looks like if we do stretch. And then if we do, remember that there's repeats that's round, that will make it, it'll make it even. So now you get exactly 2 of them. It made 2 because 2 would fit. So it stretched them a little bit to get it even. And that makes just the sides end evenly. And the other one that allowed it to end evenly was the space. And there, so it only one fits, and then it puts in their space. And then on the down, it looks like it's not fitting well at all. We get all space and funny little corners. Anyway, so that's kind of interesting to see what those different ones look like. So let's go back to the one that we want is repeat and refresh. And there we have added a border, but it's made with a border image.